Good morning and good afternoon. It depends on where you are. My name is Georgia Maneta. I come from Greece, and I would like to welcome you to today's MRT reading. MRT stands for Matrix Readers Theater. And if you're interested in learning more, you can have a look at the website, Matrix of a Learner. So today, I would like to welcome two new people. Diana, I'm sure I can pronounce her name correctly, and Nilanjana, can you help me pronounce your friend's name?
Diana.
Divya.
Divya, okay, and Divya. So I hope you will like our time together and become permanent guests, let's say, with us. So today we're going to reread the poem because it talks about the fact that we should all like ourselves. And then we decided that each one of the executive board members are going to read a poem that describes themselves, their personality, let's say. So let me share my screen. Okay. This is the first poem we are going to do. It's called I Like Myself by Karen Beaumont. I would like to ask Divya if she would like to take part in reading.
Yes, I would.
Okay. And Diana, would you like to read with us as well? Diana, you have to unmute.
Maybe she cannot.
Yes.
Yes, okay. And Rihanna?
Yes.
Okay, and Grace, I
never
ask
miss
you.
it.
Nadia? Nadia?
Yes.
Okay. And Nilanjana, are you okay today?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we have 11 narrators. I'm going to start by saying Nilanjana will be one. The way I see you in my camera, Divya, you will be narrator 2.
Okay.
Rihanna, narrator 3. Diana, narrator 4. Nandia, narrator 5. Tracy, narrator 6. Grace, narrator 7. Nilanjana, why can't I see you here?
Scroll down.
Oh, now you change. Nilanjana, take 8.
1 and 8. 1 and 8.
Oh, yes, 1 and 8. Okay, so we'll start again. Okay, Nilanjana, 1 and 8. Divya, 2 and 9.
Okay.
Diana, 3
Rihanna.
and 10.
Yes,
3 and
because
10.
we have 3, Rihanna 3 and 10, and Diana 4 and 11.
Okay.
I will be just listening to you and enjoying myself. So, okay, we are ready. The poem is all yours.
I Like Myself by Karen Beaumont. I like myself.
I'm glad I'm me.
There's no one else I would rather be.
I like my fingers.
My ears.
My nose.
I like my fingers.
And my toes.
I like me wild.
Like me tame.
I like me different.
And the same.
I like me fast.
I like me slow.
Like me everywhere I go.
I like me on the inside too.
For all I think and say and do.
Inside, outside, upside down.
From head to toe and all around.
I like it all.
It is all me.
And me is all I want to be.
And I don't care in any way.
What someone else may think or say.
I may be called a silly nut.
or crazy cockabird.
So what?
I'm having too much fun, you see.
For anything to bother me.
Even when I look a mess,
I still don't like me any less.
There's nothing in this world, you know.
Can change what's deep inside me, and so.
no matter if they stop and stare.
No person.
Either.
Anywhere.
Can make me feel that what they see.
Is all there really is to me.
I'd still like me. I'd still like me with fleas or warts.
Oh, with a silly snout that's knots.
Or knobby knees or hippo hips.
Or purple polka dotted lips.
Or beaver breath.
Or stinky toes.
Or horns protruding from my nose.
Or kikis.
With spikes all down my spine.
I still would be the same, you see.
I
I
like
like myself.
That's like
as
a
I
porcupine.
am.
me.
Oh, hair that's like a porcupine. Yes, spine porcupine.
That's okay, Nadia. Amazing reading. Thank you very much, all. Divya, how did this make you feel? Did you like the way we did it?
Lovely. I really enjoyed it, but like probably I've just felt that I was like totally concentrating on not missing my line, so I didn't register much. I think this is the first time, so I was like, constantly looking at the numbers, and initially I thought I'll have to add, So I was like, okay, what is 12, 9 plus 7, 16, okay, so I didn't really like that the numbers are going to be repeated.
It's the first time, don't worry. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. What about you, Diana? Did you like the way we read the poem?
Yes.
Well, if you could have one of these characteristics mentioned there, which one would you prefer it to have?
Characteristics. Oh, I don't know. There's so many.
Personally, I would love to have polka dotted lips. I don't know why. And I think Grace would like to have polka dotted lips. If I remember, that's the one. Okay.
She show us polka dotted. Today she is also dancing.
I'm sure about that. Let's welcome to the company Pia and Abdel Kalder, who did an amazing presentation, by the way, on the
ladies,
international
how are you?
conference. Hi, Pia.
Yes,
Hey, Abdel.
hello, ladies.
Hello, ladies. Hello, James.
This was cool.
Georgia, can you stop sharing your screen for a minute?
Yes, of course. I forgot. I really had so much fun now that I forgot to stop sharing my screen. Okay.
So Pia and Edgar, you actually had a chance this time to listen to the reading.
Yes. We are listening.
What did you think now as listening to the story?
Yeah. So I can see the woman's power.
And Edgar, what about? Did you enjoy listening?
No, I couldn't join you on time. Plus, the connection has been disconnected many times, unfortunately. I couldn't. No, I couldn't.
Unfortunately, anyway, it's a problem with the internet connection generally. Okay. We shall go on with reading the poems that we have selected. And I would like Tracy to start first.
Oh dear, all right. Okay, let me get my poem up. And it's interesting. I was introduced to this. I haven't met her yet. I hope to, and I hope to be able to introduce her to you. She's an artist, a local artist and poet, and she does paintings, beautiful paintings and so forth, and then she does poems with it. This happened to be the very first poem in her book, and it just said, oh my gosh, that is me. and it's called Nature's Revival. My morning seemed painful with emptiness. My spirits were somehow distant as I went to the shore by the waters I love. Expecting only the outside to touch me, my feelings seemed changed in an instant when I opened myself and my senses to the spot that I love. And dreaming, I gazed deep and long on the water, imagining myself floating there weightless, free of ache, just letting me go, on the water I love. The sweet sea smells filled up my head. I heard gulls dip wings in the blue liquid shelf. Oh, what a joy, what feeling, what whole sense of being is there all the time by the ocean I love. It filled all the empty, distracted my pain, and lifted me to a new level of self, because I opened the door and went to the shore by the rocks, the sea that I love.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It's very wonderful.
Beautiful.
Did you write the poem, Tracy?
I wish I had, because she certainly expresses how I feel, and it's interesting because at one point I actually had my fortune read or my palm read or whatever way back, and the one thing that she was clear about was the energy that I get from the ocean, particularly the ocean, not just water, but the ocean. And when I am getting in a frame of confusion, I go to the ocean and I spend time there. And when I was in India, I had the wonderful experience of being able to go out into the ocean, and I would go out to where the boats were fishing, you know, they'd row a, and it was funny because they don't swim. They don't swim, so for them to see a white woman swimming in the ocean was like astonishing. And I would go out, and because of my size and all, I could literally float on the ocean, and I could sleep while I was floating. And the whole connection between the sky and the sea and me in between is just so revitalizing, and such a feeling of, you know, I don't know if you understand.
Divine, it's divine.
I know the feeling. Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Floating in the seaside. Yeah. It's very
Floating.
good. How long you can be stay, Tracy?
I would go as often as I could, unless the tides were too strong. Sometimes the tides coming in, because I was down in anyhow, spent 2 years there now. Why can't I even Kochi on the edge there of the, and the tides got really bad. So there was
I went to that beach in Kochi.
Cochin, yeah, that's why I thought about Goa.
Yes.
That's where I stayed. I stayed and lived there, and Immaculum in that area. So we would go there to the coast, and I would swim there. At least once a week. And not only that, I float so well that I would help people who wanted to float or feel what it was like to float or to swim. I'd lay them out with my hands.
Oh, wow.
And then I would come up and I would float underneath them, so that they would float, I would be, and they would float here across me, and I would be able to float with them on me.
So next time you visit
very
India, please don't
nice
forget
experience.
to call me.
You what?
Next time you visit India, I would like to float, you know, you helping me float.
You know,
yes,
it's kind of weird, because it's really a wonderful experience, and it's a wonderful feeling to be able to it's almost like, as long as they don't panic and they never, you know, they just, I would hold them first so that they would just feel what it's like, and try and help them get their center. And when I figured out, then I can come up from underneath them. And Pia, in Nepal, when I was with Pradeep, they have a swimming pool there, a beautiful big swimming pool that they all go to, and none of them know how to swim. None of them knew how to swim. They would go,
very scared.
they go and they, you know, splash water at each other. And those that knew swimming, it was, you know, the hitting the water.
Yeah, because Nepal, we don't have ocean, so only the river.
Except when I left, they knew how to swim, because every afternoon I went and we would have a swimming lesson. Sometimes there would be 10, sometimes there would be 50 of them there, and we all would do some lessons on how to swim, and it was a lot of fun. And so.
Yeah, whenever I go to other country, since Nepal is a landlocked country, I go to ocean at the first time. Whenever it is in Gold Coast in Australia, or even in Singapore, Sentosa, and also Malaysia in Port Dickson. So what I do is like when you say about floating, really I do like in Buddhist tradition, we learn a technique is called floating on the water while we do the meditation. So we have sun watching meditation. So floating around like 1 hour is just very nice. Right? So once your mind is concentrated, you are in a meditation mood, and you can float like 1 hour away simply, you know. That's by my experience.
Yeah, and isn't it beautiful? Yeah. Well, thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you, Tracy. It was a poem full of images. I was actually in the ocean. I would like to go on with Grace now, and I would like to ask her to share her screen with us.
Georgia looks like wearing a swimming costume.
Grace looks mischievous today. I don't know why. She's the twinkle in her eyes.
Sorry, can we move, if there's another person, can we move there while I struggle to put up the page to share?
Okay, yes. I'll go on with Nilanjana.
Right.
I will share my screen and I'll show you the poem that you have chosen, Nilanjana, and then you can read it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Name.
That's it. Is that your poem, Nilanjana?
Yes, that's my poem.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Can you enlarge the screen a little, zoom it a little?
Let me see.
Click on the plus sign.
Wait. Yeah, well, I can. Let me see though if I can move it's the only thing I can do, and that okay. Let me do that for you again. Okay. Here, is that better?
Yes. You can scroll up and down, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So this is the poem that I have chosen, Myself by Edgar Albert Guest. I have to live with myself, and so I want to be fit for myself to know. I want to be able, as days go by, always to look at myself straight in the eye. I don't want to stand with the setting sun and hate myself for the things I have done. I don't want to keep on a closet shelf a lot of secrets about myself and fool myself as I come and go into thinking no one else will ever know the kind of person I really am. I don't want to dress up myself in sham. I want to go out with my head erect. I want to deserve all men's respect. But here in the struggle for fame and wealth, I want to be able to like myself. I don't want to look at myself and know that I'm bluster and bluff and empty show. I never can hide myself from me. I see what others may never see. I know what others may never know. I never can fool myself. And so, whatever happens, I want to be self-respecting and conscience-free. Thank you.
Very good poem, yes. Very sensitive.
Yeah.
Amazing, and you read it really well, Nilanjana. You read it with passion. Thank you so much.
It's a poem very close to me, so that's why.
The author is can you tell us a little bit about where the author is from, or do you know?
I'll definitely in the next house, because Edgar Allan Poe is also a poet, and Edgar Albert Guest. So I kind of get mixed up. So in my next session, definitely I'm going to speak about him.
Because when I read that it was, you know, Edgar, I read it, Edgar Allan Poe. I didn't even look at it, I read Poe, and I thought, wow, he's really a kind of a dark writer, you know, like The Raven and all this. And I thought, she's taking that as a poem for his.
No,
So
I'll just find out something about Edgar Albert Guest and let you know.
It's interesting. I guess one of the questions that it brings to mind is, I'm assuming he's male.
He's a male. I have got his picture here.
And yet
so
he talks.
Edgar, yes, he's a British-born American poet who was popular in the first half of the 20th century and became known as the people's poet. His poems often had an inspirational and optimistic view of everyday life. Here he is.
And he is obviously a voice for a woman, because even
today is sorry. Today is his death anniversary. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, that's kind of unique, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So we celebrate through the reading of his poem, his life here, and that's very cool.
Thank you, Nilanjana. Excellent poem. Grace, are you ready or not yet? Should I take over?
Okay.
Unmute? Okay.
Should I take the host?
You can share screen. I'm going to mute the other so that you can share your screen and do your poem. You have to unmute though. Grace, you unmute and share your screen. There we
go. Okay. We have a poem here. It's like describing what I would love to do as I am big and small. And this is a poem we did back in the secondary school. I've so much loved this poem, felt in love with it because of the meaning it carries. Like a child who is innocent, it talks about an innocent child, nature, and life being a cosmic harmony. And this poem is written from the Songs of Innocence by William Blake. So I'm going to read. Piping down the valleys wild, piping songs of pleasant glee. On a cloud I saw a child, and his laughing said to me, pipe a song about a lamb. So I piped with merry cheer. Piper, pipe that song again. So I piped, he wept to hear. Drop thy pipe, thy happy pipe. sing thy song, a happy cheer. So I sung the same again, while he wept with joy to hear. Piper, sit thee down and write in a book that all may read. So he vanished from my sight, and I plucked the hollow reed, and I made a rural pen, and I stained the water clay, and I wrote my happy song. Every child may joy to hear. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent, Grace. I love Blake.
Yeah,
What mean by piping, Grace?
like he
Pipe,
using a
piping.
flute to.
Pied
Why
Piper of
have they
Hampton.
used the cheer? Why are they using CHEAR in that? I didn't get that.
Maybe
Instead
it's
of
an error.
double ER. Is it an error or is it intentional? Do you think?
Can you reshare the screen again and
Yeah,
show?
very good observation.
What did you
Because
say?
it's been used in a couple of, I think 3 times it's been mentioned in the poem.
You're talking about the word clear?
Cheer. CH, instead of writing it as CH or C, it's here.
Yeah.
So I'm repeating the word, but the spelling is CHEAR. So I was wondering.
CHEA, I saw that too. Mhm.
Blake lived in the very, very past, I think. So maybe some things have changed spelling. Like
Yeah.
Shakespeare, for example. I guess, I only guess.
But William Blake was in, like, what year was he writing? What part of the century? Any idea? Anybody?
Actually, William Blake, P.B. Shelley, there are more poets like them. It was they were actually known as the Romantic poets. Like you remember, Anisha, I had Keats,
Keats
John
and Coleridge.
Keats. Yes. So the classical form of poetry was very rigid. They kind of followed a certain structure. But there were this group of poets who wanted to write about anything, about feelings, nature, God. Here, Lamb, actually, it is in 2 parts, Grace, Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience, William Blake. And during my graduation,
And experience, yeah.
Yes. So we had to do a critical analysis of these 2 poems. So here, Lamb refers to the presence of Jesus Christ. You know, he's talking actually about God. The child in the cloud is actually, it's God's design. You know, so it's a beautiful poem. So William Blake is 18th century poet, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the Romantic poets, and people often misunderstand Romantic poetry as writing about love and romance. It's not like that. It's about nature. Basically, it's about nature. Okay, they wanted to write about nature.
I don't know if there is anybody who has another reaction towards the poem. It's true that the poem is loaded with symbolism. Yes, yeah. The lamb is symbolic, the child is symbolic, the piper is symbolic. And when you look at nature, the piper didn't take a pen to write. He took a reed and he stained the water clear, that he wrote the poem on the water. And when you look at the child is innocent with a good heart. When the piper pipes, the child says, no, this piping, this beautiful piping shouldn't be for me alone. I want it to be for my friends and for everybody. And so the piper gets the hollow reed, he writes it so that other children may come and read. And the child is also imaginary because the child vanishes. So it's really loaded with a lot of meaning.
Symbolism, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any reactions still.
It somewhat reminded me, particularly towards the end, Grace, of where you are right now and how you're developing into becoming a writer yourself and taking pen to paper and putting your ideas and your thoughts down into the reader's theater and becoming what you said, My dad always wanted me to be a writer, and I never knew I could. But look at what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I kind of connected. I saw you in that because you are now taking that read and that water and putting these things down to share out and give back to other people. So yeah, that's my take on why I like that and how it fits you so beautifully.
Yeah. Thank you.
Even though they lived in the Romantic period, I think they are all-time classics, these three poets, and so many more, let's say. Nadia, is there a poem that you would like to read?
How many poems today?
It is dedicated to poetry today.
Poetry
Oh,
festival.
okay.
We are having poetry festival today.
Nadia, there she goes. Nadia, unmute yourself.
Other poem.
Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorites. Robert Frost.
Beautiful poem.
Nadia, you need to unmute.
I'm unmuting myself.
There you go.
Share your screen again. Okay.
Now, do you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Are the letters okay? Is the text, is the size font all right?
Yes.
All right. So, I'm an English teacher, and I have read a lot of poetry when a student. So I read some poetry in class with my students, but this poem is very special to me because last school year in February, we had a connection with an Indian school, and ninth graders from that school were doing a research. They analyzed some poets of the 20th century, Joseph Brodsky from Russia, an immigrant to the USA, and Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, was among those poems. So, and there were two more poets, an Indian one and an English poet. And through the poetry, they tried to make critical analysis, SWOT analysis of the situation, social and economic situation of that time. And so I also read this poem with my students in class, and now I'm going to read this poem to you. So, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, an American poet. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, alone I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And now I would love you to say what you feel about this poem. It is a well-known poem by Robert Frost.
Yes, very nice. Also, even the picture also very beautiful. Is it in Russia, Nadia? I like to be there.
No, it is just a verse from the internet. So some presentation.
Oh, I thought it's like a
But
summertime.
it looks like Russian nature.
These roads, yellow wood.
You know, by the way, when I was in America, in the state of Delaware, Maryland, Delaware, and we went to the nature parks. The nature looks, the trees, the grass, the plants look like in Russia, in Krasnoyarsk, for example. That's why nature is maybe similar in some places.
So
Now,
I call it the two roads, Nadia.
two roads, yes. Excuse me?
What are the two roads? One road is what, and what is the other two roads? What you mean by two roads here?
Two
Diverge in
roads.
yellow.
Two roads
Yeah.
diverged in a yellow wood. So I guess this is about choices we are making in our life. So, you know, in Russian fairy tales, characters, main characters, especially young men, when they are looking for their happiness, they come to a crossroads. And usually in Russian fairy tales, there are three roads in front of you. And they say, if you walk this road, you will be happy. If you go to the left, you will be happy and rich. If you go, for example, to the right, you will find your love. And if you go forward, you will lose your head. You will die. And very often Russian folk tale characters have to choose which road to take. And this is in
I
Russian.
like to choose the third one, Nadia.
So yes, and Robert Frost suggests two roads. Yes, the first one is grassy, and so the first one is well traveled, and another one is grassy, maybe not walked on, wanted where. And it was of course that second road would be hard to move around. So if you take so he took that road, and he doubted if he would ever come back, because he expected some troubles and difficulties on the way, challenges. So he took the road less traveled by. So this person, so I guess, though I'm a woman, still I often take roads less traveled by. I love to be a pioneer. I love to be the first exploring some technology, some new knowledge, and bringing it back to people. That's why it makes a difference in my life. So that
breaking
was
the stereotype. Breaking the stereotype.
Yes.
Nadia?
Yes.
Nadia, can you stop sharing? I always love to see people when they talk.
So stop sharing.
That was
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
thank
I
you.
love like this.
Yes, thank you, Nilanjana, for your remark. Breaking stereotypes. Yes, I'm against stereotypes. Yes.
It also,
I teach my
think,
students to be broad-minded and tolerant people, and I
feel
don't like it when people treat me stereotypically. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes. And I feel the last two lines, they also refer to the herd instinct. You know, the herd instinct.
Yes,
Everybody
me
is doing
instinct,
things,
stado, herd,
we
right.
do the same thing so as to feel accepted.
Yes, right.
If we go the other way, people would be against us. And
Conformism. Conformism and non-conformism.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Can I share?
Yes,
Grace, thank you. Yes, so I love the poem. I appreciated it. Well, and it also reminds me back of my school days. We treated the same poem, but now I get to read, feel the emotions in the poem, understand it. Unlike years back, if you tell me that, Grace, you ever love a poem, I'll tell you, hell no. Because was studying the poem under pressure, was cramming, studying to write an exam and pass, and where writing the exam, I didn't even get an A. But now when you read poetry, you read with your heart, you're able to interpret a lot of things. You see beyond, you see with your third eye, you don't just look at the surface meaning. And I really enjoy and think I should go for more poetry. Yeah, thank you.
Lovely, lovely. Very nice, Grace. Very nice.
I look at that, and you're right. Those last two lines are pretty powerful.
Very powerful.
And I think of the road that's so traveled as being that which society is taking, and is it a path that's actually leading us forward, or is it leading us further away than perhaps as we do here in the MRT? Obviously, as individuals, we are definitely traveling the path less traveled in hopes that we can help it become more traveled in a positive way. So I enjoy that too. Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing that, Olga.
Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you
Really
so much.
beautiful poem.
Thank you for your reflection.
Iya, have you prepared something with your cutie one there?
Yes.
Yeah, unmute.
Iya, you have to mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she's my daughter, and she liked the poem very much. After she see the poem, she came and watched.
Oh.
Because she's the wonderful person of the poem, and once they see from far away, she run and want to read, you know. So I said, next time read the poem. After see the path, and she asking what is the first and second. One is easier one, the second part is more challenging and difficult. So I'd like to ask you one question from Nadia. You're teaching Korea as a teacher, and what you compare with this poem? Is it you think your teaching Korea is a easier one, or the second one, the with the challenging one?
Oh yes, so my attitude as a teacher, yes. You know, I will give you some example. I have a friend of mine, she's older than me, and she often blames me for staying too long at school. She always asks me, what are you doing there? And I answer, I'm preparing for classes for school tomorrow. So because I don't want my lessons to be a bore. That's why I'm spending my whole summer learning some technologies, new ways, attending lots of webinars, because it's my way. I don't want to be, so I always want to make some difference, a change in my classroom. I teach my students to use new technologies. I want them to be different. That's why so maybe my road is not so challenging and difficult, but it is non-conventional, unconventional. It is different from others. I live with my own brain. I use my own brain. I think my own head. I have my personal opinion about everything. Yes, and I want to make my teaching new, fresh, and more interesting. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's what this is the kind of educators we actually need, so that children do not hate education and learn without getting bored or without understanding, without realizing that they are being educated, actually. Thank you, Nadia, for your thoughts. I think we are all into this this way of thinking, actually.
Yes, yes.
And that's why we are here, I guess.
Staying here. Yes.
I believe you said something to that effect in the Rita Studer that you wrote, and that's at the very end. We have fun. We have fun learning.
Yes.
You know, we do.
Yes, right. Fun learning.
Pia, do you have a favorite poem that you and your daughter might read? I mean, one that you read, you know, at home, a little poem that you might read to her?
Yeah, with the next session, I think she would like to write or would like to read. My daughter will be read some poem maybe next time. She's not prepared for today. She just want to enjoy your company. Now she shows very shy. Huh? And that is tomorrow is her birthday, so she's going to celebrate birthday.
Oh,
how old is she?
Birthday. What's her name?
What's her name? She was shy and run away already. She's very shy girl.
Happy
What is
birthday
what is
for
her name? And
tomorrow.
her birthday?
Prijita, yeah, Prijita, her name,
Prijita.
Prijita.
Wichita.
Happy birthday,
Prijita,
Prijita,
yeah.
tomorrow.
Happy birthday,
It sounds like princess, Brigida.
Yeah.
Something like that.
मुख दिखाओ रे दिखाओ मत oh she don't want to come.
Divya, do you have a poem that you might, maybe some people even know poems, they recite poems. Do you have a poem or something you'd like to share? Or
Yes, Divya.
No, not really. Today I thought I'd just like, so I didn't know what the poem is going to be about or what we're going to be doing. So that, and I don't know anything about battle like that. So I can't decide.
Do you have a favorite poem? You don't have to read it or anything, but is there a favorite poem that you happen to have or no?
As Grace had said, for me, when I was in school, poetry was more like an academic thing which had to be done. It's only now that when I read poetry, I can actually understand the meaning behind it. Because initially when we were, and then I have not from literature background, I'm from maths background. So we never I was not into poetry, but that's why this thing was joining this was more of a challenge and very innovating for me because I felt, this is something I've been wanting to do. I just read prose and novels, but not poetry. But poetry is very fascinating for me. So I cannot claim that, I have a favorite poet or I know a lot about poets, but I've enjoyed all the readings today. So that has been a very good experience for me.
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you, Divya. Okay, I have one myself. I thought it would be a poem having to do, with us as personality, and I chose something really simple, and actually it's quite really contemporary, and I would like to share it with you. Actually, Tracy, since you asked which is our favorite poem, I would say Red, Red Rose by Robert Burns. I love this poem. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose.
Rose, yes,
I really love this poem, but it was not meant to be read today. So this is, okay, sorry. So I'm going to share my screen. Well, sometimes I feel bad about myself, the way I look, the way the weight I carry around.
You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
So, no, I'm not. I
Yes,
could be
you are.
better. So this is a poem that expresses me, actually. It's called If I Could Be Someone by Shian Berg. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce the name right. And I would like to read it. If I could be someone, who could I be? My mother, my father, or someone who's free? I wish I could be someone who's different in all ways. Someone who's rich or famous or has those days. If I could be someone, I would choose to be free. Free from rants and the paparazzi. Choose to be filled with joy and glee. If I could be someone, I know exactly who to be. Unique and different from all. I would choose to be me.
Wow.
And yeah, I think it's simple and describes everyone's feelings right now about themselves.
But most of the poems seem to be talking about famous people because, the way they are mentioning paparazzi, it's almost like people who have climbed to the top and now just want to experience regular life again. So they have tasted that, but they realize that that's a lonely place. So they just want to be among regular people, do regular things. So you get your success, but you're not satisfied up there. So you realize that you missed out on a lot by going on that road.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Georgia,
so
when you were reading,
yes,
when you,
Grace, tell me.
Can I?
Yeah, when you were reading, I just felt like joining you to have and other people to join you with this poem and have different voices and different feelings.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's possible that we just take the poem and somebody just will read two lines or one line.
Do you want us to do it like that?
Yeah, if I could be someone.
Okay, so you can see the lines here. So let's say the way I see the people. Grace, you could be one. Divya,
Yeah,
this.
line
You can see
first.
my, yeah, first line. Divya, the second. Nadia, the third. Pia, the fourth. Let's say Rihanna, fifth, who's different. Tracy, someone. Nilanjana, or. And then from again, Grace, you start, if I could be someone again.
One by
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grace, be my guest. You start.
Please, can you screw up a bit? Okay, if I could be someone. If I could be someone.
Who could I be?
My mother, my father.
Or someone who is free.
Rihanna?
I wish I could be someone who's different in all ways.
Someone who's rich or famous.
Or has those days.
If I could be someone.
I would choose to be free.
Free from rents and the paparazzi.
Choose to be filled with joy and glee.
If I could be someone.
I know exactly who to be.
Unique and different from all.
I would choose to be me.
Yes, when you read it in rows, it is
different.
Thank you, thank you. It sounded really
Perception is
better now,
different.
Grace. Thank you for
Yes.
your idea.
You're
Perception is
welcome.
better, yes.
Next time.
You see, what's fun is you can take just about anything and flip
Exactly.
it into a script, which allows for that interaction, for people to use voice and expression, also listening skills and
Yes.
focus and watching and knowing when
Attention, follow each other.
yeah,
It's for students, as far as they are concerned.
And the rhythm as well.
Yes.
You have to keep the pace.
yes.
I really enjoyed it.
So